In this video, I am going to talk about three different but important aspects on this topic. First one, I am going to talk about different influencing factors that actually drive or control to some extent to what kind of lifestyle you are adapting to. On the second point, I am going to quickly discuss, based on my understanding, different pros and cons for both of them. And the third one, I'm going to talk about what I'm currently doing or which kind of lifestyle I am trying to maintain right now and how it benefits the priorities of my life at this point. Have you ever tried switching between early bird and a night owl or vice versa, only to realize that you are waging a war against yourself? I have been there multiple times, juggling between both of them in my studies, jobs, and personal life. In this video, I am going to share what I learned throughout the years between switching to both of them, which one suits myself better, and how you can thrive to get the rhythm no matter what type you are. Just to provide a quick background on this, I have been switching between both of them not so frequently, but yes, many times. If I start with my earlier days when I was in school, when I say school means after the grade 12, I used to be an early bird. I used to regularly wake up around 4 a.m. in the morning and then go to bed by 10 or 11 p.m. at night. I was in the schedule for many years. The first time I started switching from this early bird habit to a night owl when I started my journey to engineering. Very quickly, I became a night owl. Wake up in the morning at 8 a.m. or maybe 7:50, just have your brush and run for the class. I was staying in the hostel and this was kind of the schedule that was being followed around me and I got adapted to that. So wake up in the morning around 7:45 to 8, just run for your class. After the class, you go for sports and going to bed around 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning. There's no fixed time schedule. Now, after engineering, I entered my first phase of job. I was working for an Indian company and my client was based out of United States of America. We had to do some overlapping in terms of transferring knowledge, sharing work status, and planning for the next phases. Again, the required overlapping of hours, specifically at my night time. So my habit of early bird continued. I worked in Bangkok for a couple of months in between. The same or similar work culture, continuity of my night owl life. Now fast forward to my job. When I started working in Canada or for a few months in USA, I found people around me are working early morning. Will start early, let's say around 7:30, 8 in the morning, and do prefer to close your work in the evening by time, let's say 5, 5:30. Again, initially, if your work demands you to coordinate with a team that's spread globally in defined time zone, it's very tough. You might continue to be a night owl. But gradually, when my work got concentrated with the people who are co-located with me in the same time zone, I started shifting towards an early bird lifestyle. It was still not early morning, but not for sure and late night work anymore. Now, last year, when I planned to pursue my master's degree, I literally started thinking of switching to an early morning lifestyle. So, over the period of years of experience, I have been juggling between these two. And what is my learning? Let's start talking about the influencing factor. I think there are two most important things on that area. One is your work environment, and the other one is your social environment. Let's talk about the work environment first. If you work as a part of a team where your team members are located in different time zone, then you tend to go towards a night owl life. At the same time, if your team is co-located in a single time zone, you tend to start your work early. Basically, you tend to adapt to an early bird lifestyle. The next most important influencing factor is your social environment, your family life, your family schedule, the schedule with your friends, everything does matter. If you have a friend circle who like to meet mostly at night, you are tend to become a night owl. If you have a growing kid in the house and he or she need to go to school early in the morning, you tend to become early bird. So basically, when we are talking about social environment, it's very important to look at the aspect of peer pressure. You need to handle that one so that you can manage your lifestyle based on your need, not by peer pressure. So, what are the most common challenges for both of them? If you're an early bird, your energy level starts dropping post evening. So, basically, if you have social activities planned for the evening or night, it actually conflicts with your bedtime. For night owls, it's always a challenge to maintain a routine or align to traditional routines of work and school. It's very difficult for them to wake up early in the morning, and in general, they start with a chaotic routine in the morning. So, now let's talk about the benefits for both of them. Mornings are generally quiet, free of distractions. So, in general, it helps to focus you more in the morning. If you need to work or study something very important, I think early morning is the best time to start with. In general, early morning habit actually do help to set up an exercise schedule that in turn helps your health. One quick reminder, if you're waking up early, don't spend your early hours in scrolling through social media pages. Try to spend the early hours on things that need very high focus and attention, like learning music, your study, very important thing in your work. I think that's the best way to use your early hours if you are an early bird. For professionals who are trying to meet very critical and time sensitive deadlines, a night owl schedule do help them a lot. Let's talk about the last point in this video. Which one I'm currently following and how it's helping my current priorities in life. I think you might have already understand that currently I am adapted to an early bird lifestyle. Once I wake up in the morning at 5, I directly start with my studies. I do cover or I do complete a lot of things even before I start my work around 8:30 in the morning. I drop my daughter in school, come back and start work on different other things, including study. In the evening, after I'm done with my work, let's say around 6 p.m. onwards, I try to conclude everything for the day by 11. Then I try to spend an hour on reading different type of books. It's not mostly related to my study. Go to bed max by 12. I'm following this schedule since January last year. When I say last year, it's been 2023. And believe me, based on the tasks I have in hand right now, this schedule do magic for me. I feel so fresh in the morning when I start my work. It's amazing. As I mentioned already, I switched between these two lifestyles many times. Somehow I feel when I was a night owl, the morning was totally messed up. I wake up very late, always in hurry for study or work. At the same time, I felt tired throughout the day. So when I compare both of them in the perspective of how I face this, Sometimes it was not an option. I had to adapt to one of the lifestyle. But in general, for me, looks like I am much more comfortable to an early bird lifestyle. I have seen people who are night owls but very energetic throughout the day with very high productivity. I think it's ultimately a matter how your physical systems work. But if you ask me, on my perspective, I tend to prefer an early bird lifestyle now. If you like the content of this video, please don't forget to press the like button and subscribe to my channel. For similar videos, please visit my YouTube channel, Dactopian Dreams.